So today's episode, very interesting. You can call it funny, very interesting. How to fall in love and out of love. You can fall in love and at the same time, not at the same time, but later on, you fall completely out of love. And stuff like that, it does happen. It happens, every time. Why do people fall in love and at the same time later on fall out of love, completely out of love? Now, we can actually start with in a relationship, there must be agreement. Agreement. Somebody talks about you have a beautiful, a handsome husband, you have a beautiful wife, you have. It's not really about that. Physical features are there, which is for those that are moved by physical attraction, but it's a fact. It's a fact. You don't want to be with someone you don't admire, you can't admire, so that it's a fact. But that's not the basis of relationship. The basis of relationship is what we call agreement. And the Bible says something about agreement. Even in next Exodus, the Lord was saying, come, let's reason together. Even though your sins are red as crimson, they will be white as snow. So it has to be, there must be an agreement going on. So agreement keeps relationships smooth. It keeps relationship robust. It keeps relationship going. It's absolutely important that you really look at that. So before two people come together, they must be able to agree on something. They must have an agreement. So in Amos chapter 3 verse 3 says, can two work together except they agree? Can two work together? It's a question. Can they work together? So they can't. So if you're in a relationship and that is bound by agreement, and when that agreement is broken, things stop working together. Things cannot no longer work. And the worst thing you can do, it looks like a warning, but it's a fact of life. Don't stop deceiving yourself. The worst thing that can happen to you is for you to remain in a relationship that has no agreement. The two parties don't honor the agreement anymore. You'll be fooling yourself. Who are you trying to impress? You're trying to impress people that don't care. Another thing that people play to the gallery. They play to the gallery. They try to act a role they know very well they are not that role. They are acting those roles. You are trying to be someone or something you are not. You are absolutely living in hypocrisy and deception. Continually I used to say this. One of the things I appreciate about the Westerners is if it's not working, they call themselves together and say, hey, this thing aren't working anymore. And if it cannot be fixed, let's go our separate ways. Let's move on in life. Life is not just about, there are ups and downs. Things may not actually turn out the way you planned it. You can't kill yourself. There is no need to keep crying over spilled beans or something that it cannot be fixed. Forget about all those shenanigans and things that people do to keep up appearances. It's not, nobody cares. You're trying to impress those that don't even give a damn about you. And you are saying, oh, what will people say? What will people say? Whether you are doing it right or not, people will still talk. So the easier you get it fixed, the easier you realize that you have to move on with your life, the better for you. And you stop looking down on people. Somebody can have a crisis tomorrow. You can have your own crisis and it will be the one to encourage you. Stop looking. You can't look down on people. And those that judge, people react differently. You may be looking for someone for solace or for comfort, and that person will come out to be a big disappointment to you. You don't blame them, because that is how they are. That is, maybe they're influenced by society, or they're influenced by what people have been saying over the years. So it's not really their fault for reacting that way. But the issue is that when the chips are down, you see these things are not the way they seem. Things are not the way they seem. And before you judge, first of all, try and get into their shoes. The person you want to judge, try and get into their shoes first, so that you can have a better view to now pass your judgment. It's quite, that is how it's done. And then in the book of Matthew, very interesting place as well. We all normally use that for prayers, but it is general. It's for everything, especially for believers and everyone. He said, if two shall agree as touching anything. I think it's Matthew chapter 18, verse 18, 19, and thereabout. If two shall agree as touching anything they ask, it shall be done unto them. You see, the power of agreement. The power of agreement is the thing that holds marriages together. I keep hearing, where in a relationship or in a marriage where you have arguments, constant arguments. Oh, that is love. That is a big lie. It's not love. There's nothing like love there. Because love is respect. Love is mutual support. Love is agreement. You can't be arguing every day and you say you have love, or you say you have... No. In fact, if you look deep, if you take a very precise, you take do an investigation or a deep surgery, you find out that there is, in the bottom, there is hate somewhere. Arguing every time couples are arguing over something that it naturally must have been fixed, can be fixed without the argument. But they keep arguing over and over again for what? Who benefits from this myriads of argument? Who benefits from this constant argument? And when this friction of argument continues, the next thing is you begin to see abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, and all kinds of abuse can spring up from that little argument. So agreement is paramount. Agreement is important, And then as you fall in love, how do you fall in love? You fall in love with somebody you share the same values with. You can agree together. Not by manipulation. You manipulate someone to agree with you on this, agree with me on this one. No, it's not about that. It comes naturally. You just naturally agree with this person on this. This is what I would have done if I was in your place, things like that. So there must be this synchronism. There must be a synchronizing. There must be an agreement. God does not work with us without our agreeing to his relationship. That is why we have faith. Faith is the basis of that relationship. So I don't really care what you think about me. I'm just stating the facts. I'm just stating the obvious. We all have our experiences. I have mine. And I can better tell you this is it from my own standpoint of view. I'm not trying to judge. I don't even qualify to judge anybody. I'm not trying to judge anybody, but all I'm saying is I'm stating the obvious. Falling in love is beautiful. But you fall in love with somebody you agree with, somebody that respects your agreement. And then you fall out of love when that agreement is no longer there anymore. People have their own, begin to see their own things, begin to pursue their own goals. Normally, every couple should have one goal. a rallying point. I'm not saying they shouldn't have dreams, everybody should have their own dreams, but there must be a goal, a uniting goal for the couple. They come together to unite. So the dreams the individuals have, they have to unite it with a common goal. That is the agreement. As long as that agreement is there, things continue to move. The foundation is built on that agreement, and then the building continues to rise. So that is what it is. You fall in love with someone you continuously in agreement with. You agree. It's not a fight. I don't appreciate relationships where people fight all the time. It may not be a physical fight, but it's an emotional fight. Today we see a lot of things. We see couples being emotionally abandoned. And you wonder why these things are not taking off, as it were. Because there is a crack in the foundation. There is something that is fundamentally wrong with the relationship in the first place. So it's a note of warning. It's also an encouragement for whoever that is going through such challenges. You need to rise up, you need to brace up and fix your problem. Look for a permanent solution, not a temporary one. No. Prayers are wonderful. I love to pray. I pray every night, every midnight. I rise and pray. But it doesn't stop problems, the problems of life, the challenges of life. Prayers does not stop challenges of life. You can have myriads of challenges, and you still pray. So you don't deceive yourself that because I'm praying, I won't have challenges. No, challenges will locate you because you pray. Because every attack from the enemy, is to check the stuff you are made of. So whenever these challenges come, you have to confront them. Don't deceive yourself and think that you can play to the gallery, suffering in the process. No, we can only suffer for Christ, and we know the meaning of suffering for Christ. Standing and defending the gospel, and not suffering because you are ignorant about something. You are suffering for it. No, that's not the kind of suffering. Or you are suffering because you're a thief, or because you committed a crime. Or that one is a due suffering. You deserve it based on what you did. Until maybe you are exonerated or you are shown mercy. No, that's not what the Bible is talking about when you suffer for Christ. No, when you identify with Christ, when you stand for Him. So it really doesn't matter what you think. It's your business. But we all are given access. We all are given opportunity to, of course, speak our minds, and at the same time, state it the way it is. This is Transformation Station, and I will always keep it real. There's nothing like sugarcoating, no. And then one thing with life, falling in love and falling out of love, not everybody is for you. That is what you have to do. You can love somebody, and then that person doesn't love you back. You move on, you move to the next person. There must be somebody that shares your love. There must be somebody that loves you the way you are. Even when you are making mistakes, they are, the beautiful thing about loving someone that is, may have slipped or may have, had some shortcomings, is that you can still confront them in love. You can still call them back because you love them. You tell them the truth. And not castigate them or go behind them and start talking rubbish about them. No, that's not love. That is the tenets of hate. That is actually hate in trinkles. No, that is hatred. You are passing. You are destroying. Somebody that is created in the image of God by doing such ignoramus, by doing such idiosyncrasy. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful with our relationships. We have to be careful the way we talk about others, when they are not around. And even when they are around, we have to be careful. We do everything in love. So with this few points of mine, I must have, is it convinced? I must have said one or two things, how to fall in love. You fall in love with somebody you share agreements with. You have an agreement. Like they say, agreement is agreement. Two people coming together have an agreement, whether it's a business agreement or relationship agreement, the two will have to honor that agreement. And when, the agreement is no longer binding, they can go their separate ways. When both parties begin to fail in honoring that agreement, it's over. Don't deceive yourself. It's over. You have nothing anymore. You just, how can you be in a relationship where agreements are not honored? You are just taking a walk, thinking you are leading people. You are just taking a walk on your own. So let's take this wisdom, these nuggets of wisdom, because there are a lot of things people shy away. Gone are the days. You don't want to do the right thing because of what people will say. To hell with what anybody will say. It does not give a hoop in the air. When you die in an unhappy relationship, the same people will come and bury you, and then life goes on. But right now you are crying and you are saying they are looking okay, they will give all their silly opinions and all that. Who cares with your silly opinion? So the thing there is be careful who you listen to. People are, somebody can be very close to you. All they are doing is to overshadow you. They overshadow you so much that you can't even breathe. You can't even talk. Everything you are saying is you are mirroring them without knowing, directly or indirectly. Yeah. You can be in a relationship, you can be in a family, and you don't talk. It's your sibling that does everything. Everything your sibling says, you don't have a mind of your own. You can't stand out and say, this is what I have decided, and I'm going to stick to it. Or then maybe you have a friend, or maybe you have whatever, they will overshadow you, become so timid. You are no longer yourself. You are not a voice. You can't say, this is what I want. Some people don't even know what they want in life. And you say you'll be in love? No. You're just going to mess up the life of another person. So these are facts of life. And look, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. It doesn't matter. I have my own opinion. This is just my opinion. If you want to take it, fine. If you don't want to take it, who cares? But the issue there is I have to say it. And then if you have the same opportunity, you can say it too. You can say yours too. Live and let live. That is how life is. So that is what it is. I don't want this video to be so long. I know how to fall in love and fall out of love. And I told you the basis of every relationship is agreement. There must be an agreement. Two people can come together and say, this is our agreement. We agree to have children. Some I've seen couples that come together, we agree we will not have children. We just enjoy ourselves till we die. That is an agreement. And as long as that relationship is still running, is running on that agreement. So nobody can take it away. Nobody can mess it up. Nobody can talk against it, as if it will matter. You say whatever you like. It's their own agreement based on understanding they have for each other. So falling in love, you fall in love based on agreement and understanding. There must be a working understanding. that makes that relationship working. And then you begin to put all the other aspects, the physical attraction and all that, people continue to work on that physical attachment because attraction, because if it's no longer there, it may affect the relationship going forward. But the issue there is the major one is the agreement based on understanding. Every agreement must be based on understanding. If a couple does not understand each other, it cannot work. There will not be an agreement. And then when there is a constant misunderstanding, the agreement is thrown out of the window and things can no longer work. So I will see you on the next episode. Remember to subscribe to our channel. We need over 1,000 subscribers as many as possible. Share this video, like it if you like it. If you don't like it, just move on. I'll see you on the next channel. God bless you.